Salams and welcome. Thank you for joining me in another episode of the Quran in English, Basics for Beginners. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Surah 26, verse number 10. Behold, now we're going to look at a series of about 5 or 6 nations who the messengers came to them. They invited them to the truth, but then they rejected the truth, right? So we're going to look at Moses, Abraham, and so on. Let's start with the first in the series. Behold, your Lord called to Moses, go to the people of iniquity, the people of Pharaoh. Will they not fear Allah? He said, O my Lord, I do fear that they will charge me with falsehood. My breast will be straitened, and my speech may not go smoothly. So send unto Aaron. Now, this is so beautiful. It tells you the psychology of public speaking. Some people, when they speak in public, they cannot speak. It's called stage fright. But in the case of Moses, this wasn't public speaking. He's going to face his enemy who has written out a death sentence on him. Remember many years ago when Moses killed someone. So Moses is afraid that when he goes back to this place, they're going to assassinate him. So he's fearful. So he doesn't want to face a person who's in authority. For example, if the boss or your senior manager calls you and you know you've done something wrong, you're going to be shaking. Your chest is going to feel so tight you won't be able to talk properly. So here it's saying that when you're fearful, or if you've got stage fright, your chest becomes very tight. Look how beautifully it explains this, right? And so he knows he's going to struggle with his speech. So while he's struggling, he just wants someone next to him. So he wants his brother there so that his brother can help out when he's finding it difficult to find the words, right? And this also applies like common sense. If, for example, you go into a doctor's consulting room and you've been diagnosed with cancer, but now the doctor doesn't give you the final diagnosis. So it's always good to take someone with you. Take your husband or wife, or take your friend with you, because when the doctor starts speaking, your brain shuts down. You won't understand what he's saying. You won't listen because your brain is going to shut down mode if you get bad news. So then the friend who is there with you, or another family member, by the time you get back home, that person will then tell you, this is what the doctor said, this is not what the doctor said. And in fact, when they are with you in the consulting room, they can ask questions which you would have forgotten to ask the doctor, right? So that is in all cases of fear or stress and so on. And further, they have a charge of crime against me, and I fear they may slay me. Allah said, by no means. Proceed then, both of you, with our signs. We are with you and will listen to your call. So go forth, both of you, to Pharaoh and say, we have been sent by the Lord and Cherisher of the worlds. Send you with us the children of Israel. Pharaoh said, did we not cherish you as a child among us? And did you not stay in our midst many years of your life? Now look how Pharaoh remembers him, right? And you did a deed of yours, which you know you did, and you are an ungrateful wretch. Now look how the Pharaoh is insinuating that, you know what, we remember you killed that fellow. We know all about you. And yet you are coming now to stand here in front of us. Moses, I did it then when I was in error. So I fled from you all when I feared you. But my Lord has since invested me with judgment and wisdom, and appointed me as one of the messengers. And this is the favor with which you do reproach me, that you have enslaved the children of Israel. Pharaoh said, and what is the Lord and Cherisher of the worlds? Moses said, the Lord and Cherisher of the heavens and the earth, and all between, if you want to be quite sure. Pharaoh said to those around, "Do you not listen to what he says?" Moses said, "Your Lord and the Lord of your fathers from the beginning." You must remember, as far as Pharaoh was concerned, he is to tell the people that he is Lord and he wanted the people to worship him. But now Moses is explaining that Pharaoh is not a god, Pharaoh is a human being. Moses is giving an understanding of who is the true Lord and creator of the entire universe, right? So Pharaoh said, "Truly, your messenger who has been sent to you is a veritable madman." Moses said, so Moses is still continuing with the description. He's not even answering what Pharaoh is saying. He's saying, "Lord of the East and the West and all between, if you only had sense." Pharaoh said, "If you do put forward any god other than me, I will certainly put you in prison." Moses said, "Even if I showed you something clear and convincing?" Pharaoh said, "Show it then, if you tell the truth." He's giving him a challenge and a day. No matter what you can show, I won't believe it. Show me what you got, right? So now Pharaoh and Moses are now going into a serious discussion. So Moses threw his rod, and behold, it was a serpent, plain for all to see. Everybody could see it. Nobody could deny it. We can just imagine the scene in the royal courts. All the soldiers, the royal advisors, the family of Pharaoh, everyone, they got a shock of their life, a scrape of their life, when they see that this little stick that Moses came walking in, like an old man walking with his stick, a shepherd's stick, and all of a sudden he throws this piece of wood on the ground and it becomes a serpent. And they're very familiar with snakes because the famous is the Egyptian cobra, which rears his head. And they know, yes, this is something serious. So they all jump back in fright because no one wants to be near an Egyptian cobra, right? And he drew out his hand, and behold, it was white to all beholders. As we mentioned before, this was the second of the great signs, that when he takes his hand out from his side, it comes out shining like a torch, an LED light. And those people don't know what's a torch, but his hand is shining white like a torch, an LED lamp. Because in those days there was no electricity. The only thing they would have had was flaming torches. They put oil on a piece of wood and wrap it with a cloth, and they burn it. So they just got these oil lamps all over the place. And all of a sudden, this guy's hand is shining like a torch. They don't even know what's a torch. The electricity was only discovered thousands of years later, right? So they don't know what is going on. And they got another scrape of their life. Pharaoh said to the chiefs around him, "This is indeed a sorcerer well versed." So Pharaoh now is also now getting a bit doubtful. He says, "Yes, like I'm seeing things here. This is an intelligent guy, man. He knows his stuff, eh? Yes, like, man, what is going on here?" His plan is to get you out of your land by his sorcery. So he's still using the word sorcery. He doesn't say this is the divine miracle that Moses brought from the Lord and creator of the universe. And it is my duty that when the truth has come to me, I must accept it. But instead of accepting the truth as a miracle, he says, this is magic, this is sorcery. So you see how the brain of Pharaoh has been hardened. He is seeing something, but he does not believe it. And even the rejectors of faith today, they will see the truth, but they will reject it. They will say, no, it's trickery, it's sorcery. They will keep on doubting themselves, and they will get further away from the truth, right? So his plan is to get you out of your land by his sorcery. Then what is it that you counsel? They said, keep him and his brother in suspense for a while, and dispatch to the cities heralds to collect and bring up to you all our sorcerers well versed. We've got the best people in the land. Bring our best experts, the magicians, the sorcerers, bring everybody. Bring them, and then we'll show what we are capable of. So the sorcerers were got together for an appointment of a day well known. And it was a day because they asked Moses what day would he like to have this match or this competition. And he says, let's have it on the public holiday, because everybody knows what's a public holiday. And we want everyone, I want the whole community to be there. I don't want people to have an excuse, no, we got to go to shop and we got business and we got this and that. So it's a public holiday. It was a day of a major festival. No one went to work on that day, and now it was a gathering to say, okay, on this day there's going to be a big competition. So people came. It was like a huge festival. The flea market was there, food was there, braai was there, lekker, whatever else they had. And the people, the community all came down, and they say, hey, there's a big thing going on. There's a huge match going on here. So let's see who's going to win today. It was like a FIFA World Cup, right? So everyone got excited. Some people say, no, Pharaoh is going to win. Others say, no, Moses is going to win. So they're all trying to figure out who's going to win this big competition. So everyone heard about this major match. It was the FIFA World Cup, right? So now let's continue with that. And the people were told, are you now assembled, that we may follow the sorcerers in religion if they win? So now this is a major thing that was going on. If the sorcerers win, then the entire nation must now follow the way of Pharaoh, and his rule will then be further established and entrenched, because he is boasting that he is God. So if the sorcerers win, the decision making is very critical, because then the entire nation will then have to submit to Pharaoh without doubt, right? So this is a very serious thing that's going on. So when the sorcerers arrived, they said to Pharaoh, of course, shall we have a suitable reward if we win? And they were confident they're going to win, because, these are masters of their art. No one can fool them. They've got sleight of hand. They can do various types of trickery and sorcery, and they know their beans, right? They know their stuff. So they are confident, and they're going to get a reward. So they're telling the Pharaoh, you know what? We'll ensure that you'll remain a king for many, many years, and we'll ensure that all these people now continue worshipping you, and you'll be the big boss here. You'll be the big chief. We'll make sure of that. But we want our money out of this at the end of the day. Nah? It works both ways. We help you out, you help us out. Like how in a modern politics, I think it was Elon Musk helping out Trump. So various other wealthy people will fund politicians, and they say, you know what, now I want some tenders or contracts and so on. But this works all over the world, and every time and every place. It's same thing happens in South Africa, in America, in Africa, in Russia, in Australia, everywhere. The wealthy ones are the ones who have who help to put the president or the leader into power, and then they get good lucrative business deals at the end of the day, right? It works both ways. One hand washes the other. And the Pharaoh said, yes, yea, and more. Yes, I'll give you a reward. Don't worry, man. The money, don't worry about the money. I'll make you guys wealthy. You just make sure you win this competition. Same way, if there's a FIFA World Cup, you read stories that if they win that match, then every football player will get a new motor car or a brand new car or a million, whatever it is. I don't know the stories there, but there's such great incentives, financial incentives for the people at that final match. So a lot of money exchanges hands, right? And then meanwhile, the common folk who are there, they're doing all their side bets. Who's going to win? The Pharaoh is going to win, or Moses is going to win? Like, is Muhammad Ali or Joe Frazier? Who's going to win this match? Is it Manchester United? Is it Liverpool? So there's a lot of bets happening on the side, right? But there's a whole entertainment area for the day for the people. So Pharaoh said, yea, and more, for you shall in that case be raised to post nearest to my person. Moses said to them, throw you that which you are about to throw. So they threw their ropes and their rods and said, by the might of Pharaoh, it is we who will certainly win. Then Moses threw his rod, when behold, it straightway swallows up all the falsehoods which they fake. Then did the sorcerers fall down prostrate in adoration, saying, we believe in the Lord of the worlds, the Lord of Moses and Aaron. Stay well, look after yourself. We'll continue the story in the next episode. Alhamdulillah.